36 T-90M tanks. 40 motorbike recon teams. All advancing at dawn, and stopped cold by a $100s FPV swarm and a single buried TM-62 that sent a turret into the sky. You clicked for answers. Stay for the kill chain, Furia and Leleka drones at 9 kilometers, Caesar guns cracking supply lines, then FPVs on the roofs and HIMARS closing exits. If steel isn't king anymore, what is? By the end, you'll see how information and timing beat armor mass, and why mass tank pushes are now a trap doctrine. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. They rolled at first light, a steel line key to speed. The bet was simple: move faster than fire can think. But when the other side can see you 9 kilometers out, every lane you pick gets marked before your lead tank hits the first rise. What would you do when the road ahead feels mapped by someone else's hand? The plan leaned on weight and tempo. 36 T-90M tanks in a broad push. Motorcycle scouts out front to outpace call for fire, sniff out weak seams, and punch a hole before command posts could react. The tanks would claw through the first belt, the bikes would flag bypasses, and second-wave armor would flow into a breach while artillery and engineers caught up. Classic doctrine. Hit fast, hold the gap, feed mass. But then the silent wall. Furia and Leleka reconnaissance drones took the high lanes and the low ones. Fixed-wing eyes to sweep the axis. Multi-rotor hover to dwell on junctions and tree leans. Each contact turned into a live coordinate string, pushed back through a clean pipe. Bayraktar TB2 stayed higher still, not to strike first, but to watch which reserves started engines and where they would try to sprint. You don't fight fog if you erase it. This is where the web matters. Forward drones painted paths and pauses. Passive listening cued engine notes and rotor whine without a single flare on the skyline. Fire planners had pre-plotted kill boxes, grid squares tied to ranges, roads, and dead ground, so once a marker dropped, guns didn't need to search. Open terrain became a pressure cooker. The faster you rolled, the faster someone else worked the math. You asked about the bikes. They move quick, ride low, and concede observation points in minutes. They can tap a mine belt with a probe, slip a pair of eyes past a ditch, and mark a bypass with a cone and a burst on the net. But radios talk, and patterns repeat. Rally points sit in the same sheltered cut. Handoffs happen near the same stands of scrub. Once the drone net logged movement cycles, those habits turned into beacons. Meanwhile, the guns waited. Caesar batteries set time-on-target salvos that put shells from different tubes into the same grid at the same second. Dana M2 howitzers joined to break trails at choke points, culverts, narrow farm tracks, the single bridge everyone had to risk. They didn't need to wipe the board. They only had to break rhythm and stall resupply. HIMARS sat cold until any mass tried to gather past the first cuts. If it did, exits closed. Modern kill chains run on seconds, not speeches. Sensor-to-shooter links shave steps, and steps are life for armor. When the spotter net stays up, dispersed fires beat concentrated steel. Not by magic. By speed, by workflow, by knowing first and acting faster. The tanks pressed anyway. Thermal sights up. Blades down to push berms. Dust lifting off glassy plates. And from the tree lines and culverts, FPV drones stood up, low and mean, angling on roof plates and optics blocks. Every pass that chewed a sight or a periscope stole time. Every damaged lead vehicle forced the column to bunch, and bunching is death in a mapped grid. Ukraine didn't meet steel with steel. It blinded, fixed, and funneled. The forward routes narrowed. The recon screen lost riders, then links. A single immobilized hull became a marker for the next strike, and the pace bled away until the push felt like a cue. But a harder truth waited under the soil. One buried charge can teach the oldest lesson in armor. The ground itself can flip a turret. A tank worth millions meets a mine worth hundreds. That price gap sets the tone. When timing is right, terrain becomes a weapon you can't outflank with bravery or steel. AT-90M noses into a lane that scouts already traced. The TM-62 sits silent, built to wait for weight, not guesses. Drone patrols watch track marks harden over the day, watched engineer teams flag a verge, watched a gap get used twice, then 3 times. That is how a minefield turns from random fear to planned effect. You don't roll the dice when the board is marked. Then the hit. A heavy pulse under the belly. The hull jumps, then slams back. The pressure wave rips along the turret ring. Crew survivability meets physics at the worst angle. The tank that shrugged off glancing blows now throws heat, smoke, and shards into the air. Every sensor in the area sees it. Every team with a launcher or a tablet gets a new reference point. The first blast doesn't end the fight. It opens a door. FPV drones pivot. Harassment turns into finishes. Operators key on roof plates, optics blocks, and engine decks. Short flights. Low arcs. Last-second climbs. They don't need big explosives when they land where armor is thin. One strike fogs the sight. The next choose a vent. The third cuts a track or cracks a cover. Vision gone. Mobility gone. Firepower gone. Not in a single cinematic hit, but in link taps that strip a tank down to a hot shell. Why do cheap drones beat premium armor? Short path to target. Live eyes on the run. Mid-course fixes when the driver jukes or smoke blooms. An unguided shell is a shrug at fate. An FPV run is a guided choice. You can thread a gap in a cage, ride the wake of a smoke bomb, or wait 1 heartbeat for a commander's hatch to shift and then dive. Precision isn't a buzzword here. It's a hand on the stick. Meanwhile, high cover stays on task. Bayraktar TB2 watches for counter-battery drills, not for glory runs. Warmate and Ram-2 loitering munitions sit on likely exits, holding energy for any truck or tank that tries to break contact. Caesar batteries and M777s sync their clocks. They time volley so that shells arrive as a unit, catching a turn, a bridge, a dust cloud. Retreat turns into a worse bet than staying put, and staying put means the next drone is already inbound. Armor survives when its full team shows up. Air defense to SWAT drones. Engineers to clear lanes fast. Electronic warfare to cut control links and blind GPS aids. When that stack falters, tanks become big, hot targets sitting in an open range. You can read this as tech hype. It isn't. It's workflow. Sensors feed shooters. Shooters cut options. Options shrink into habits. Habits get mapped. Damaged vehicles look for depth. They limp for a staging area, a row of trucks, pallets under tarps, a shed that leaks light from a cracked panel. Recon saw it hours ago and tagged it. Routes in, routes out, fuel bladders near the wall. You can feel the trap forming even if no one says the word. Then the dive. A Ram-2 picks the seam and drops through a broken panel. 1 strike. Sympathetic blasts climb fast, ammo cooking off in tight beats. The sky flashes. You don't count vehicles, you count seconds between booms. Logistics pays the bill that tanks ran up, and the tab keeps growing until the fire eats out. The lesson is plain. Information and timing win the field. Plate thickness no longer calls the day. The force that sees first and acts on it holds the ground when the smoke clears, and the next move starts now. The center of gravity moved. Not the tank, but the chain that finds, fixes, and finishes. Sensors call. Fires answer. Drones close. That shift isn't theory. It's workflow you can build, train, and keep alive under pressure. The video's line says it clean: the future of conflict belongs not only to machines, but to the minds and the hearts of those who command them. If you want more breakdowns of the tactics and tools rewriting ground combat, hit the subscribe button and comment your choice below: armor upgrades or ISR investment. Mass still matters. But only when your sensors and timing beat the other side's.